Okay, so I wanted to make a video to do a couple of things in Plus Portals with you. So here I am at the login screen. I put in my credentials and I am at the home. And as you see here, we have our various classes, and I'm going to go ahead and click on AP Chemistry. And there are two features that I'm planning on using more than I did before with Plus Portals. And the first of them that I want to talk about is discussions. So sorry, I went really fast there, and that's my big thing. So if I start here at the home page for Plus Portals, and if I were to scroll down, we have our course summary, we have any assignments, and I'm going to talk to you about quizzes in another video, but this one I'm going to focus on discussions. And you'll see I've already created a discussion group here for AP Chemistry, and this is visible to parents and to students. To do this, it's kind of like a chat room, and it makes it so they can ask you questions or respond to questions. And I'm planning on using it with a video. So if I post a video and ask them to watch it, they can come here to the discussion and post any questions or say, yes, I've read it or I've watched it or whatever, and use it kind of as an assignment so that I know they did the assignment they were supposed to do. So if I add a new discussion, it comes up and it's down here at the bottom of the screen, so I have to scroll down, and it's called Discussion Builder, and you have to give it a title. You do not have to put in a description, but you may. But you do have to put in a discussion prompt, and this could be a question you want them to answer, or it could be a statement that they need to read and then do some activity, like I could ask them to write out the name and formula for 3 acids and 3 bases discussed in the video. And so then they would write out their answers. You can also link a YouTube video here with this YouTube here. And then down here we have some more options. Character requirements. I leave this blank just because I don't care how long they answer or how short their answer is. It's a minimum of 10, and I'm not sure what the maximum. I like giving things a due date, and anything in bold has to be in there. So you have to put in a due date. If you're going to add a link in where the discussions are listed, you have to have a link there so they know that that's the discussion. So maybe discussion for 325. And that would come here. If you have a link that you want them to watch, again, this one's optional, this one's optional. So you know if it's optional because it'll put there. It also gives you here where you can attach a file if there was, say, a reading that you wanted them to give their thoughts on or something like that. You could put in the file there. It could be a PDF or a Word document, any kind of file that you wanted to use. This is where I think it gets kind of interesting. Here where it says hide replies initially, and if I hover over it, it gives an explanation of what that is. It means that once the student replies to that prompt, and they hit enter, now they can see other people's responses. So if you were asking them to write the 3 acids that were discussed in the video, they wouldn't see anybody else's reply until they replied. So they wouldn't be able to just copy somebody else's answer and put it right in. So I think that's really cool. I like to close the discussion so that if I'm using it as kind of an attendance, did they watch it? Did you complete the activity I assigned you? If I close it, let's say it's due Tuesday at 8 a.m. I would close it then Wednesday at 8 a.m. So if they replied afterwards, I would know that it was late. I could still give them credit, but then on Thursday at 8 a.m., I'm going to go through, look at all the responses that came in before the deadline, give them full credit, and those that came in after, I would give partial credit to. So let's say I had 3 classes of AP Chemistry or 2 classes of Honors Chemistry that I wanted to go into. I would click those 2. Oh, if I made a mistake, just click again and it gets rid of it. And you're done. So you can save it at that point. I'm going to cancel, and I'll show you the one that I created earlier. So if you say save, it'll then show up. Yes, I'm sure. So now to get out of this screen was interesting for me. I had to figure it out. And you have to click back to overview. When you go back to overview, you're still in that class that you started with, but now you're back here, and you'll see that I've created a discussion here about free response questions over gas laws. It gives a description for the student, and you have to tell them to go over here to these three little dots and click on it. When they click on it, they can then go to the discussion. And then it'll eventually come up. Here it is. And so they can see what the prompt was. They can see I made a comment just to make sure it was working. And then I have some students that commented. And I have a date and timestamp as to when people logged in and talked about it. They aren't necessarily in the original posts are in date order. Any replies don't resort it. So only the original post is sorted by date. So then if I again want to get out of the screen, I can either refresh if I think someone may have responded again, or I can go back to overview. You, as the administrator of this class, can then go to this discussion again, and there are a few other options. You can edit if you want to change what you wrote there. You can make it so they can no longer see it. I could delete it. I could send an email to the class regarding this. I could lock or unlock the discussion. And if one student is being obnoxious in some way, you can go ahead and lock or unlock that student. You can tell them they can't. You can block them from talking on that particular discussion. So I thought those are pretty cool as well. So let me know if this is useful, or if you have any questions, you can always drop me an email and I'll try and respond as soon as I get it. Thanks. Have a great day.